Welcome to this week's edition of Trucks Gone Wild Live. I tell you what, we got an exciting show lined up tonight. Got Matt Steele and Chris Ledford in the house with a very special guest sitting in the lobby waiting to be in the virtual green room. Let's call it that.
Yeah.
We've already lost Chris. See, he's having Chris is having all kind of technical problems because he's moving houses. He'll give us some kind of excuse, maybe. I don't know what his excuse is, but there he is. He's back.
Yeah, it's because the piece of crap software that when you go away to before you go live kicks me out.
Sure it does.
And then I have to go back to come back in.
Okay.
I have to go in through the outdoor.
Yeah. How many of you out there believe that? Hey, thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. We certainly appreciate it, man. We're doing this on Monday nights, Wednesday nights now. We're having a big time. Like I said earlier, we've got a great guest tonight, one of Matt Steele's close friends and somebody that's very, very well known in the motorsports industry. So he's going to bring his spin on things to the table tonight. But again, welcome everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. If you would, take a second. If you're already on board, hit the share button, share it to your timelines. Let everybody know that Trucks Gone Wild is live in your house tonight. We're just having fun, staying connected, doing some cool things online. Just like I said, just staying connected with all our friends and family all across this crazy country right now. So, Matt Steele, opening statements there, sir.
Well, unlike the last 2 weeks, when we did the test with Bruno earlier, he said, well, I'm going to go pour a cocktail. And I didn't want him to be drinking alone, so I poured one myself. Went a little heavy on the blue drink, but that's okay. Matt's drinking tonight. Stuff's going to get good about 9:45.
How about you, Ledford? What's going on in your house?
Nothing. Trying to move to another house. Just been moving and working and trying to not get the COVID.
The corona. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far deep into it, you know what I got to do? It's that time. I got to thank our great friends at Big Shocks and BigShocks.com, Jared and the entire team, man. #1 in customer service and always doing great things to help Trucks Gone Wild on a weekly basis. And then also, of course, we want to thank Roger and the entire team over at RaceQuip. As soon as this crazy thing's over with and we're able to get back to racing, we're going to be putting out some prizes to all the winners of all the racing events. So be on the lookout for that as Trucks Gone Wild gets back to events and back to action. So with that being said, why don't we bring on our special guest and then we'll turn it over to Matt. And here he comes.
All right, Wister, thank you for that. And we've been looking forward to this one. Bruno, what's happening, brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I feel like it's been years. It's been weeks, but it seems a lot longer.
Dude, how long have we been talking about getting you out at a Trucks Gone Wild event? But right now, currently, this is the best we can do. So it's good to have you, brother.
Thanks, man. It's something I've wanted to do forever. But as you know, my weekends are a little tied up. It's not personal. I want to come out and hang with you guys, but just can't find the time in the schedule. Right now, I got time. So what do you say? Let's go in the mud?
if we could gather in groups of more than 10 and be closer than 6 feet away, it'd be awesome.
That takes all the fun out of it, though, brother.
Hey, you know what? Here's what I'm thinking, dude. So many people in our mudbog world come from the drag racing world. So a lot of those people are familiar with you. And the cool thing is, I like to brag on you, dude, because you've won some pretty impressive local competitions.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Nothing strikes a chord to me. I don't know. It's weird. It's a long time ago. I don't like to relish in the old times. I like to move on. You know what I mean? Stay current.
Dude, so were those down in the basement with all the trophies?
I don't even know what you're talking about, brother.
The kids are like, Dad, what are you doing with the rings? You're like, oh, I got to be on the show tonight with Steele. Yeah.
You're like, Dad, the rings again? Do we have to hear about those damn things anymore? Jesus.
Hey, dude.
You know wait, we're talking about hardware. There's something I got to bring up before I forget.
Please do.
I dusted this bad boy off right here. This is our proudest moment in life right there. Do you remember this moment? Oh, wait, you weren't there. I had to claim it for you because you were in hiding.
In my defense.
You see this? You see this?
You did a hell of a job accepting that on behalf of both of us.
I was going to scribble your name because it was actually on it and sell it to, for some things, some different services on the strip that night. But, I decided to bring it home for you. You're very welcome. I'm pissed because we didn't win it last year. I want to know who stole it from us, brother. We need to start campaigning for 2020.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to do something about that. I could go get that thing in about 3 minutes because I have it up in my trophy wall. Which is that is my trophy wall. That's Hey, dude. So, what years were you NHRA World Champion?
I was 2009 and 2012. I won World Championship in a category called Competition Eliminator.
Right.
That's my claim to fame, so to speak. And also, in 2014. Our biggest race of the year is the U.S. Nationals. And just so happened Chevrolet was sponsoring it. And we got the first win for Chevrolet's Copa Camaro program in 2014, winning that event. So, yeah, man, sometimes shit goes your way. And that's our Indy 500, and it's my Super Bowl, and it kind of went our way. So that's my claim to fame. Yeah, man, it was fun.
Dude, it's been fun because I know that we've been working with each other for a long time. And it's always good. And I like it because when good things happen, we're real supportive of each other, even though we're in two totally different worlds. And I like that. It's cool, man. So congratulations on all that. And let's talk about the shows briefly, if I may. Obviously, a lot of people know that you were one of the hosts of Garage Squad. And that is a huge show, primetime show, dude. You've been on that thing for how many seasons now? You're going into what, 6?
We'll be entering season 7, believe it or
Yeah.
not. Which, I had to think about that for a minute. Yeah, so actually we were supposed to go into production as of Monday. Right now, everything is kind of on hiatus as it is throughout the world, so we're kind of playing the waiting game right now. But you know what? We did roll out. They start to season, 14 of TruckU.
Oh,
man. The ratings juggernaut that it is.
Well, I was going to go into the fact that you're on the NHRA show on Fox Sports 1 on the weekends and all that, right? Yeah. And then I was going to end with TruckU because obviously that's your career highlight. So I was going to end with that. It is
started the career. It has been the career. It is the highlight of the career. You know, figure some other things in along the way. But,
you know what's funny? The question I always get from everybody, they're like, do you guys actually get along? I'm like, yeah. Why would we? It's like they think we're faking it or something. I'm like, no, we actually do get along. So
you're like my younger, much older brother. You know what I mean? Like a little kid you want to kick around the house, but you're actually 10 years older than me. Which is kind of weird.
It's so weird, dude. But I'm dude, so you can't get a haircut right now, right? Dude, the mullet's going to be kicking here.
That's why I got the hat kicking. Look at you're shaved. Look at you, all clean and pretty. Look at you.
It's rough. I mean, I've clipped, dude. I don't shave. It's kind of like this. But I use like a soft Barbara Walters filter, right? And it smooths everything out. So
hey, you know all right, I'm new to this, so you got to fill me in. So I'm seeing a little question stuff popping up on the side here. I noticed this guy, Seth, just asked me, do I ever race at Brainerd International Raceway? Yeah, buddy. That is my favorite racetrack in the world. Been there since they had the first NHRA national event there, and been going there pretty much ever since. I usually go there twice a year. I'm hoping we get to go back this year. The zoo there is the one thing I've never been to one of your events, but the zoo in Brainerd is what I've got to imagine it's like. And I'm all in, brother. I'm all in. We had a lot of fun over there.
Isn't that where you shot the crazy stuff with Jag?
Yeah, we do it every year. We have our little throwback in time. So last year it was an homage to The Hangover, and before that, last year we did Old School. We did The Hangover the year before. Some fun stuff, and also with our top year world champion, Steve Torrance. Him and Jag are two guys that it's cool because you take these guys who are, Torrance is not straight-laced at all, but Jaggy is as straight-laced you could be from a very corporate world upbringing. He is as white collar as you could ever imagine, but you get a few drinks in him, and he is totally Frank the Tank. And I've known it because I've been friends with him for years, but to get that to come out on camera and have this dude who's been a 5-time world champion, one of probably the best drivers to ever sit behind the wheel, and is sober, is the straight-laced you'll ever meet, running in his underwear, falling on the ground, literally rolling down a hill bloody, and getting up and going back for more. I mean, that's what it's all about, man.
Sounds like
right? It sounds like your world.
Like in this coming year in November, assuming it's still going, since I'm making my triumphant return.
You know what? I'll believe it when I see it. And hopefully, first of all, there is a SEMA. Second of all, there is. I won't believe it till your ass is there because you've been saying it for about 5 or 6 years now.
I'm booking the show, so I'm coming. You know what happened last time? Last year at SEMA, I had like 3 production companies going. They all said the same thing. Hey, you're going to be out there, right? I'm like, why? They're like, well, if you're out there, we'll use you for something. And they're like, but we're covering your expenses to get out there, right? I'm like, no. And then like 3 companies, dude. They're all like, yeah, buy your own plane ticket and put yourself up, and then we'll just basically schedule you really heavy. I'm like, no, I'm good. I think I'm going to stay home and go fishing.
In fair reporting, though, you have left one nugget out is the fact that we used to do it together, and you walked away from the show.
I did.
You thought you were bigger than the show. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, it was Matt Steele. I'm bigger than this is what it came down to. And now you want to weasel your way back in, and finally you're able to do that. So bravo, buddy. Kudos.
Maybe a little.
Trucker. Look at you now.
But at the same time, Halloween was very important. And I'm like, who's scheduling it's like half the dudes out here have kids, and they got to have kids the same age as mine who think Halloween's a big deal, you know? And I was like, the hell with it. I've only got the one kid. I don't know. I was trying to be a good dad.
Hey, you know what? Some guy, Alec Gretz, something or other. I don't know. I can't make out his last name. It sounds very, very Italian. I'm sure the guy's got huge calves. He was asking me if you have hair on your arms.
Oh, but how would you know that?
I don't know.
Next question, please.
It's kind of freaky question, right?
So
weird.
Oh, Allegretti's chiming in. Holy crap! I didn't look at that. There's the huge reference. Dude, Matt Allegretti, the producer of TruckU, chiming in tonight. So that's great, man. It's like I got both families here tonight. I got the Trucks Gone Wild family. I got the TruckU family. This is really cool. So listen,
you know what? You should have brought Allegretti in. Come on,
I gotta say,
the trifecta,
bro. We're quarantined for like the next 8 weeks. I got all the time in the world to bring everybody out. I'm gonna be bringing in Manny, dude, the whole bit. Right?
Is that why I got the call finally? Because there was nobody else to put on.
Man. So look, you finally said yes. It's like I've been badgering you. So look, you and I can talk all day. Obviously, I know a lot about that. I brought you on tonight as a personal favor, so I want to say thank you, dude. And I wanted to bring you in because it's like when I tell people, they're like, what's Bruno really like? I said, dude, if he was out here at this event, he would be getting hammered and signing boobs just like the rest of us are doing, you know? And that's what I tell people, dude. So
what? That is the one thing you'll always have over me. Never done it. And I'd like to aspire to one day just to say that I did it.
Dude, you know how I've signed so many? Anyway, but.
All right.
Wister, you have been collecting questions. It's not about me. Bruno's my friend. Wister, hopefully you've got some questions. I'm going to turn it over to you to ask Bruno. And I know Chris has a question for Bruno as well. So, Bruno, good luck with this, dude. It's all good, bro.
All right.
The first one comes in from Russell Twitty. He wants to know if Bruno wants to go for a ride in the Liver Killer.
Hell yeah, I do. I don't even know what it is, but I'm down.
So Russell,
I'm not scared, or maybe I should be.
No,
I'm not smart enough to be scared.
Twitty is a Hall of Famer. He's a Trucks Gone Wild Hall of Famer. He's one of our best friends. He owns a venue in South Carolina that we always close our season out at. And he's got an old Blazer, and it is badass, and it's huge. And he's known for stabbing it, and it goes right on. I mean, the bumper hits, dude, and he rides like there's debate as to who the wheelie king is, but a lot of people will tell you it's Twitty. Some would say Dan Perkins. It all depends on where you go. But Twitty is a lot of fun to ride with, and you would actually enjoy it.
Have you ridden with him before? That's my question.
Yeah, so Bruno, you're never going to believe this, but one night at an event, we're standing around a campfire, and I'm just getting hammered, right? And I'm
Come on. I find it very hard to believe.
And you know what I was doing? A little something they call your mouth was writing checks that your ass had to cash the next morning, right? So there I am, drinking pineapple and moonshine and all kinds of good stuff, dude. And the next day, they're all like, hey, you got to ride with Twitty. I'm like, hell no. They're like, well, you promised everybody last night. I'm like, I would never do that. And then they showed me the video. I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to go.
Did you have to change your shorts afterwards?
No comment. I didn't wear any. I was wearing a skirt.
Ledford,
sounds about right. I believe that now. That sounds about Matt Steele.
So I've got a couple questions, but my first one, and there's a little bit of a setup. It's you've known Matt for, I don't know, probably 10 years now. You've done a gazillion shows with him. You're very familiar with Trucks Gone Wild and what we do. You've seen the videos. I mean, you've even helped cut promos for our videos from numerous times, and thank you for that. And you've seen what happens at our events. You know, it's drinking, it's partying, it's mud, it's titties, it's just letting loose America style. Yet you've never come to one of our events after all that. And my question to you is, why do you hate America so much?
You know what, Chris? I even wear your T-shirts on Garage Squad. You've seen that, right? You did. You ever watch Garage Squad, you son of a bitch? I'm wearing America 200 and hard. I'm rocking those shirts every day.
That's funny.
You mud, bro? I mean, I got them all, and I rock them proudly.
You got the power.
The guy in my left corner of the screen I'm seeing right now, he doesn't have to work for a living. This son bitch has been retired for as long as I met him. So he can party, he can sign titties, he can live a life. This guy's got a mortgage. I got 2 kids I got to feed who hopefully are going to go to college someday. Who knows at this point? So I got to work every goddamn weekend and every day of the week so I can live vicariously through that guy.
Yeah. It's
that's in a nutshell, Chris.
Yeah, but as I'm looking over your shoulder, I see the coffered ceiling with the crown molding and the shutters and the big windows, and I gotta say that son bitch is suffering bad. So if y'all can set up a GoFundMe for Bruno.
Times are tough right now, brother. I ain't gonna kid you. Man.
Yeah, the granite is in the bathroom is so 2018. We've got to get that changed out right now.
Well, in TruckU, you never notice how we do anything with a polish. Matt talks about his granite countertops and his tile floors and all kinds of shit.
It's Dolomite. It's Dolomite marble, Bruno. Please.
Oh, my bad. I should have known better. Here's the problem, Chris. If I show up at one of your events, I'm never going to leave. I'm going to be that guy who's doing all kinds of shit on social media. I'm going to lose every job I've ever had or ever aspired to have because I'm going to have that reputation as on the news. And by the way, did you see this asshole? More news at 11.
Right. Yeah. You're going to get pregnant at one of our events. So here's my second question. You're on at least 400 television shows, and you've got multiple co-hosts and partners on these shows. So I want to know who's the biggest pain in the ass.
Oof. That's a loaded question.
I don't expect you to
let's put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. The guy in the left-hand corner, probably not the biggest pain in the ass I've ever worked with. I'm not going to say who is, but not that guy. And there's my boy right there. That's my brother from another mother. My son from another mother right there.
Wait, what?
Colton, what's up, buddy?
That's not your real father.
I might be. I very well might be.
You need to send some checks, B.
Colton, what's up? That's the Prince of Mud. That's what I call him right there.
Yeah, I'm a little dirty right now.
B, look how tall he is, bro. Look at this.
My God.
I'm
He's
catching up to
slapping you around.
I think
he's
bitch. Oh, right. Beat it.
Oh shit, man.
Did you get the vote?
That's a loaded question. I can't say anything in the public right now. There's some people who can be tough to work with. I think we all know that in any line of work. But it can be tough when you don't get along with somebody and you're stuck next to them, and you got to pretend for God, in front of God and everybody else, that is your best buddy in the world. And sometimes it's tough to do. You know what I mean? And I've never worked with anyone who's honestly extremely hateful, but just sometimes personalities collide, and it makes it for a tough day. Matt and I, on the other hand, we get together, and it's like we have an old man reunion from the minute we walk in the morning until the cocktails at night until I leave 3 days later. And here's the thing: we're good friends because I see him in small doses. If he lived next door to me, I'd probably have to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Chris? Come on, you've been with him.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
you're probably right.
You can tell that you guys' relationship is really good because of the humor and the things and the way you interact on the show. You can tell that you're calling each other at midnight saying, hey, what's the best setting on the dryer to shrink the shirts so they're like way tight? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The mediums.
What are you talking about?
He was wearing Colton's shirts when Colton was 5, bro. That's when I met him. We call him Baby Gap because that's where he gets his clothes from.
Colton's a big Steel Panther fan, first of all. So his shirts fit.
Chris, have you met the Panther, by the way?
Yes. I actually was the first person in our group to go to a Steel Panther concert.
You're the one who set it off, because I knew nothing about them until Matt showed me a video where they were talking about my genitals for minutes and minutes on end. It was a little uncomfortable for everybody, but it was a part of our TruckU show. Then actually we went back with our concert. Dudes, some really cool guys, man. I mean, behind the scenes, these dudes couldn't have been any more laid back, any more fun to hang out with, and then got to see one of their shows, and I was thoroughly impressed. It's not my genre, but they freaking were awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, it was. They turned now. Matt turned me on to them because he mentioned them and showed me something. But we were out in LA shooting a PR event, and we went over, and they were on the Sunset Strip at some crappy club, and we went and saw them there. And then it was like crazy. The live show was so good. It was awesome stuff. And I think I've seen them probably 4 or 5 times. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, man, they're sure a blast.
It is.
I got to give him credit. He was right about something.
Hey, Bruno, real quick, before I turn this over to Wister, do you have a couple questions?
I'm going to start. I'll start browsing now.
Okay. So good thing that you didn't start that 10 minutes ago when I teased it. Good job.
No, I'm looking for them. People have typed stuff in, so go ahead.
Wister, this is going to go quick. All right.
All right.
Bruno, one of the things that we do on this show is we ask interactive questions, and we encourage everybody watching to answer. It gives a lot of interaction, and a lot of times, like Wister tries to make it very automotive specific, and I give him all the credit in the world. He's very good at that. Me and Chris, we kind of go other ways, right? It's like we try to make it not automotive, right? So it's a nice mix. And if you go back probably a year and a half, the most interactive question that we ever had on this was about bottled water. It was the craziest damn thing, right? You wouldn't think so on a Trucks Gone Wild Live that bottled water would still be talked about almost on a weekly basis. So I ask you this question tonight, my friend. When it comes to bottled water, do you choose spring or purified?
Purified? No, bitch. Come on, man. What's the cat? What am I missing here?
Nothing. You're right.
Okay. Why is it so highly debated?
Spring water.
Just as recent as last week, Wister went on a tirade against me, saying that he couldn't stand the taste of purified water. It tasted like he was putting a bunch of metal in his mouth, and he said how much that he loves spring water. And I said to him, there's something that I think spring water tastes like.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not
right?
Huh? Here he goes.
Right?
Reeling it in.
Everybody knows that. My kids can tell you that.
All right. Hey, Dirty Seven's own Jimmy Yeager's in the house. He wants to know, Bruno, do you love nitrous?
No.
Who doesn't love nitrous? I mean, I like any power editor. Nitrous was the first thing I worked with in terms of power editors on a dragster I had. And I'll tell you something, man. It is a lot of fun, but you can burn up a lot of shit really quick when you start getting aggressive. Holes and pistons become commonplace until you get a handle on that tune-up. But what are you going to do, right? But it's fun. I mean, it's instant. You hit a button and you got 500 horsepower. It's awesome.
Bruno, you watch Dirty Motor Truckers. I know you do because you were texting.
I have. Yes.
So Jimmy that just asked that question is Jimmy from the show that talks in the third person. And he likes to win. Jimmy loves nitrous. That's why Jimmy was asking that question. Dude, I think all the Dirty Seven are watching tonight, and a lot.
Awesome.
There's almost 100 other trucks in this country that have been on that show, and a lot of those guys are watching too. So it's pretty cool, man. Just to bring these two worlds together is pretty awesome tonight.
I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. I mean, obviously you're my bud, and I want to see you do well, and I want to see you kind of extend your brand out a little bit. But when you take it to the whole mud world and racing, it's a whole world that a lot of people who do this stuff on asphalt don't know what's there. And the money in there was one of them at SEMA. I popped in on, and they were just in a crash. Yes, and I did a little feature on it. I was blown away at the technology went into it. It's not just some dudes hacking something together and zipping around in circles, screaming yeehaw. I mean, there's some serious technology in these freaking trucks, man, and some serious money. These guys are for real. Really cool to see, though, dude. Seriously, honestly, kudos.
Well, thank you, brother.
Peter Earl wants to know, another Dirty Seven chiming in. What's the fastest you've ever been in a race car?
I've gone 270 and a quarter mile. I'm doing some testing for an 8-fuel dragster before for a team. So, I mean, it wasn't my car. It was just I did some test hits in it just to kind of get a feel for it and shake the thing down. It was kind of on a dare. But, fun car to drive, to say the least.
Sounds like
Andrew wants to know a question for both of you guys. When are we going to get TruckU back on Canadian TV?
Shoot, man. I didn't know we lost it. Not one respect. What happened? So here's something.
Why didn't you tell me, Matt?
Because Bruno and I know as much about that as Chris and I know about the airing of Dirty Motor Truckers, you know?
Yeah, we know nothing.
And that's as much as Wister and I know about the rescheduled dates for the Trucks Gone Wild event. So basically, there's 4 people on your screen who don't know a damn thing.
I hate to hear it, though. I mean, because, you know, the Canadian people love to party. I mean, like, it's nobody's business. They can party. Any drag race I've been to in Canada, these guys are top-notch. They take it to a whole different level. So, man, to hear that, we've kind of left them out, and they're not be able to watch TruckU kind of sucks. So hopefully they get that squared away.
Yep.
All right, my buddy Bart Bennett. Hey, Bruno, have you ever barrel rolled or rolled at a real high miles per hour?
I haven't rolled, but I bounced off a couple walls. One of them in my Copo, I crashed it. They said it was probably on 130, but I hit it. And when it was one of those hits where the ascent comes around, you get the whiplash, and it knocked me out cold. And didn't even realize where I ended up at the finish line and woke up and was like, oh, shit, how did I get here? I guess I'll get out of the car now. And the last thing I remember was it going towards the wall going, this is going to hurt. And I felt like a bar hit me across the side of the head where it did, and it cracked my helmet. And then I've actually had one at right at the finish line, right about 200. Had a strut broken, the thing went right and pulled across and hit the wall in the left-hand lane. Gave me a concussion. Actually, we had to shoot TruckU 2 days later, so that was interesting. Never landed on my roof, thank God. Knock on wood somewhere here. Had some fun rides though.
Man,
expensive rides.
You got that one cracked up door on the wall at TruckU. I don't know.
That was the one, where we hit the wall at about 200. Yeah.
Is that what
good times? Yeah.
Oh, jeez, falling.
Allegretti wants to know: is Bruno running Pro Stock next year?
If the COVID virus doesn't stop me, brother, you know it. I got an opportunity over the winter. A guy gave me a phone call and asked me if I wanted to drive for him. And we had just re-signed my contract for the Fox broadcast for the Nhra on a new multi-year deal, which has been terrific. Don't get me wrong, but this is an opportunity for me of a lifetime. I got to drive a Pro Stocker one race 6 years ago. And I kind of realized that at that point, I figured, well, at least I got to do it. And it's probably never going to happen again. It's for those of you who don't follow drag racing, Pro Stock is a full professional category. It's a 7-figure plus deal a year to run. I've chased it for years, couldn't find the funding to make it happen. And I get a phone call randomly saying, hey, do you want to drive this Pro Stock car for me on the team that finished first and second in the world? A dream opportunity.
Yeah.
And I tried to find a way to make it work. So we ended up setting out a schedule and working my bosses at the Nhra, who were honestly freaking awesome, because they gave me 6 races off to go out and do it for a limited race schedule this season. And all this shit hits. So it's you never know. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, but man, it's a dream opportunity. My buddy Jed Coughlin actually lent me his what do they call it? Simulator. So I've been actually got in my basement and banging through the gears trying to get a rhythm going because I can't do it at a racetrack. Apparently he doesn't want me to look like an asshole and embarrass him and the rest of the team. So I'm trying to get some reps in while I can, hoping it's going to come to fruition.
That's awesome.
I
wish you all the best with that. That's for sure.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Perry wants to know: are you tied to any specific brands or manufacturers?
I am a bow tie guy through and through. My dad, I grew up at, it was the family car we drove was always Chevrolets, and I got tied in with Chevrolet back in 2006 with the 4-cylinder Ecotech program. That's what I raced in my cars, won championships with. And then in 2014, they came to me and asked me to help them out with the Topo program. We were just basically getting our asses kicked by the Mustangs. They were just thrashing us. So we helped get that program going. I did a lot of development R&D on it. We actually rented a track down in Bradenton, not too far from where we shoot down in Florida, and the truck shows. Spent a lot of time there trying to get stuff ironed out and track time, doing validations for Chevrolet. So yeah, I've been working with them for the better part of a decade now.
I've got a question. Speaking of Chevrolet, have you driven the new Corvette, and what are your thoughts on it?
I haven't. I think it's awesome. Let's be honest, for everything, it's a supercar. Let's face it, you know what I mean? Without the price tag, it's poor man's supercar. From a dollars and cents standpoint, you're getting a lot of car for the money. That Matt's checking out. You're getting a $200,000 car, I think, for $100,000. Now, it depends on how way you dress it up.
Yeah.
I think I could have gotten one. I just didn't want to write the check. Through some of the stuff we had, and we were actually trying to put something together. Actually, for me to drive one this year on Garage Squad, it was going to be a surprise deal. And when all this stuff went, it fell apart. But that was going to be the car we were working on for me to roll up on Garage Squad with. Through the years, they've helped me out sometimes. Like one year, they sent me a ZL1. We drove a Garage Squad, and it was one where they put cars aside for the test track for all execs and stuff that come in. So they got Corvettes, Z06s, and ZL1 Camaros. So this thing was like an 800 horsepower, Camaro with a clutch that was as sensitive as you sneezed, you're off of it. And I'm driving in bumper to bumper traffic in the city of Chicago, stalling the thing, wearing my leg out, the clutch pedal. I'm like with 2 hands, hold my freaking leg down, and it's shaking and chattering, knocking the clutch out and going down the road.
Nice.
It's a good problem to have, but it's just not practical whatsoever. But I'm a huge fan of at least the looks of that Corvette. I haven't driven one, but I just love the design.
Hey, well, I've got a question for you. So in the drag racing community, what are the thoughts between a lot of the people that you deal with and stuff about how we get this stuff going again? Do you think it's going to roll out fast? Do you think it's going to roll out slow? Outdoor events like this, where people are sitting side by side in the stands. What's your feeling on all this?
I don't know. We have talks constantly with people at Fox Sports, and our people there, our connections we work across all the boards for a lot of different motorsports. And there's a big concern. Like right now, actually today, this morning, IndyCar rolled out their new updated schedule. Nhra is supposed to start the first weekend of June. Indy cars. It actually matched that to the letter today. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. It's going to depend a lot on what the government's going to tell us we're able to do, for one. If they say we can't race, we can't race. Right now, I think Virginia's pushed us back to June 10th. We're supposed to start in Florida. I know everybody's dying to go racing. I know sanctioning bodies are dying. Sponsors are dying to see people out there. And I don't know if some of these organizations will be able to survive. You lose an entire year of revenue. One of the big things with the Nhra is we own part of NHRA. I say we, but that's how close I am to it. They own a lot of the racetracks, and like you guys deal with the gate and all that. That's a huge part of their revenue streams. You know, as much as it sucks that I'm laid off right now and I'm furloughed from my job, if this organization doesn't come back, I don't have a job moving forward. You know what I mean? So you try to be patient with them, and I think everybody's doing the best they can to get back out there. I don't know. I think the stick and ball sports are going to lead the way for all of us, because I think we need one of them to take the jump and test the waters before everybody else can follow. And I think they've got a bigger budget and a bigger cushion to be able to work with than if we go out there and we start our own mini pandemic. We'll never survive from it. You know, we'll never be able to bounce back financially as an organization.
That's what worries me. You know, you think about these NASCAR events, drag racing events, you know, that only get one race a year. And that race was in the spring, you know, in April or May. And, you know, that's their livelihood. I mean, it's a seasonal business for a lot of these. And, you know, from that perspective, you know, that's what worries me about some of the NASCAR tracks and some of the other events that, you know, they're only getting one a year. What happens if it doesn't get rescheduled and, you know, you don't see another date until 2021? That's going to be a big impact.
Well, like Bill Bader, a friend of mine, he owns a huge track just outside of Ohio. I've known the family for a long time. It's a family-owned facility, one of the premier facilities on the tour for sure. And it's not by a huge conglomeration. It's not a Bruton Smith track. It's got a really fan-friendly environment. They knock it out of the park with the way they set the stuff up. They have $1 for a pound of ice cream as their gimmick, and people line up for hours for it. It's just a great environment. You know, they do it around 4th of July, and they probably spend $150,000 on fireworks. And talking with him, and you know, they've already got $800,000 worth of ticket sales for their late June event. And this is coming off a winter where you've got no revenue coming in. You know, this is their livelihood. They've got no revenue coming in, so they're already strung out as tight as they can be. They put improvements in the track over the winter, try to make things better. They do the right thing, and now they've got no money coming in. They got sponsor obligations. They got signage. They've got all kinds of stuff. They don't want to do wrong by the fans, but it's a hard decision to make. Do we move forward or not? Because unfortunately, we're living in a world where people sue you for anything and everything. You know, I got COVID virus at your event, I'm suing you, and that could wipe out the entire facility. You know what I mean? A family-owned business that's been there for 30 years could be upside down.
We understand that. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you guys know this world, you know what I mean? And we all play in anything to do with live events. We're all, you know, I actually thought we'd be safe. I mean, I never thought that any of the stuff that we do would be in jeopardy with the economy and stuff going around, because people like to party. They like to hear things loud. They like to go fast. They like to have fun. And unfortunately, this stuff we found the kryptonite for our worlds.
Hopefully, some of the overreaction about some of these things will calm down too. And I think people need to realize there's a difference between indoor activities and outdoor activities.
I agree.
Because indoor, you're breathing the same air, you're doing the same thing. In a basketball arena with 17,000 people is different than 10,000 people that are spread across, sometimes in our places, 600 acres, 800 acres. You know, it's like being in your own little thing. And even outside in drag race, yes, people are in stands, but they're outdoor, they're milling around. It's on 50 acres, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So hopefully some of that is taken into consideration. But I think, you know, with the president and who he is involved with, like some of the NFL coaches that he knows, Kraft and all these guys, they're going to be lobbying pretty hard to, like, you can't cancel football season. Right. You know, it's outdoor, we can breathe. So hopefully that translates to your events, to our events, and all the stuff that happens outdoor. You know?
No, I agree with you. It's a different animal, to say the least, for sure. But it just, you know, it's such a touchy thing because people are so eager and willing to just jump down your throat and point blame for anything and everything these days. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we're living in. But yes, being in a basketball arena and all that is completely different than even a football stadium, because you're so packed in. And I wish we had the numbers. We're getting 100,000 or 70,000 people, but we're not. You know, and everybody's in a short period of time, so it's 2 hours where everyone's on top of each other. At a racing event, maybe we'll get 30,000 people throughout, you know, in one of our big events. But it is spread out. You do have, obviously, people are in the stands, but it is a little more spread out. It's not as condensed. It's not as on top of each other. But it's going to be a different world when we move forward at first, for sure. You know, like I work in the pits. So I go from the starting line and I go back to the pits, and you've got fans wanting to shake hands, take pictures and all that stuff. I don't want to be the asshole being like, I don't want to take a picture with you. But I also don't want people, you know, before I like, you know, they're putting their arm around, and it's fun, man. We're all part of the same family. We're all gearheads. We're all having a good time. But now it's like, man, should I keep my distance from this person or what? It's a tough situation, you know?
You can't sign bodyguards from 6 feet away, bro. Everybody knows. So, Bruno, I was in Publix the other day and I was checking out. This was probably 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm at the checkout register paying for the groceries and all that, and I'm kind of bagging my own thing, and because the place was slammed. There's a guy 2 people behind me, and he comes around. He was shopping with his son, and he goes, "Hey man," he's like, "You're Matt from TruckU, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, dude, nice to meet you." And I did in my head. I'm like, if he comes up and he puts his hand out to shake it, I'm gonna shake it because that's just what I do. You know, and but he didn't. He like hung back, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, shake my hand, whatever, it's fine, because I don't know, I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum.
You just went in and hugged him, didn't you?
Maybe that's wrong. Yeah. We're going to dinner tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. After we finished him off in the parking lot, they went and got taquitos at 7-Eleven.
Dude had a sweet van.
Hey, well,
his fingers were this long.
No, it was a high top van, so you could walk around.
Well, let me ask all of you this. Do you all agree with this? The hot weather's going to push in here pretty quick, and the virus doesn't have near the opportunity to spread and stuff in the hot weather. So, I mean, are you pretty much all agreeing that once we get to these hot weather months that it's going to definitely have to open things up?
Well, I mean, we're not doctors, but
I'm not a scientist.
Huh?
What's the movie quote? I'm not a damn scientist or something.
No, I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look.
First exam's free.
No, I mean, who knows? But the thing is, we eventually have to get out there. And the thing is, you can't stop living life. Look, there's been plagues since Moses wore short pants. You know what I mean? There's always been shit that's killed millions of people, and we still do the same crap. You're still going to pick up a girl in the nightclub and lick her in parts that you shouldn't be licking her in on your first date, and that just is going to happen. You know what I mean? So, people are going to be a little more paranoid, but I think life is going to continue, and this thing's going to move on, and you have to be mathematical about it and scientific about it. Look, it's just another bug. We'll find a cure for it. We'll find a vaccine for it, and life will go on. And people will continue the way they've been for the last however many millions of years. It's all good.
To what you just said, I've been fighting infections for years, dude. And I'm just...
I told you, when it happens in Vegas, you bring that shit home, brother. I tell you that. That's why you stopped going.
Hey, but I'm good now. Got a clean bill of health, brother. Bruno, dude, we've been on here about twice as long as we thought we were, but I knew that was going to happen. I knew you were going to have a good time with us, dude.
I did, man. It was good meeting you, Chris, and this has been fun. Honestly, we talked about coming out, and I do need to get my ass out to an event. But here's what I want: I want a chopper, and I want red carpet. I want the whole thing. I want to do like the walk, like you're walking up to the ring, and I want you cutting a promo for me, Matt.
How about we get you in the front gate in a creepy van, and we get you a ride in a couple trucks, and we call it even?
Perfect. That's exactly what I was shooting for. So you aim high, and then you get here, right? That's how that works. That's called a negotiation. Yeah, I'm down.
You are exactly right.
Hey, Bruno, dude, always a pleasure, brother. You know I love working with you. Please give my best to the family. I hope your ankle feels better. And best of luck with everything in the future. And I mean, we talk all the time, but seriously, thank you for coming on tonight. And if this is the closest that we ever get to having you at an event, which hopefully it's not, it was still a good time nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Stay safe. Help you, buddy. Be good, guys.
Bruno.
All right.
See it.
All right. That was fun.
Dude, he's a lot of fun, and you can kind of just let him go. You know, he's kind of like all of us. You can kind of just give him a topic and let him roll for a little bit. There's really no uncomfortable silences, which is cool. So good times. Good times.
All right. Next topic.
Well, come down a little bit.
Right. We got a towel off.
Yeah. We got to figure it first. Man.
Oh, next topic. Okay.
I have.
All right. I know. Matt's got a fabulous one.
Yes. I just thought about this the other day with the co-thought of these two on here, and we thought this would be a really cool thing to do for Monday night. So all of you that are watching tonight, I'm assuming that you are familiar with the Dirty Motor Trucker television show, and this is the time we want to hear from you. We want you guys to put together your dream team that would take on the Dirty Seven. So we're going to need to know all 7 matchups. Don't just list 7 guys. Don't just list a state or a city or something like that. You need to put in there, I want this guy against Pete. I want this guy against Nick. I want this guy against Spiker, and so on and so on. All 7, right? That's all you need. And Worcester, they need to be able to put that somewhere to where we can see it, and then we can discuss it next Monday night. How are we going to do that? I'm the visionary. I have no idea how we're going to do
I want them to submit them through the Facebook page, Trucks Gone Wild, and send them through the private message to Trucks Gone Wild.
Okay.
Once you just make a post, call it the Dirty Motor Truckers Dream Team Matchup.
No, I want to submit them, and then we'll do something fancy. We'll put them up on the screen, who they were submitted by. Okay. I'll do some cool slides and make it look neat.
You want the surprise element a little bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, I want everybody to see everybody's. I think it'd be a lot cooler if we go over them all together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and here's to that. I've already got so all of us, right? I don't need one. Nobody's going to care what I think my dream team is, but all the drivers. I've already been in contact with them, and I've gotten them back from 4 of them already. And I got to say, it's pretty interesting. Some of the names I've seen, sometimes some of the guys are bringing in dudes who've never had a spotlight on them, and they want them to get that shine, and I respect that. Some dudes are bringing in people that a lot of people don't like because they want them to lose on television. I respect that. Some dudes are listing names of people that are just celebrities. They don't even have trucks. It's crazy. And that's what I said, no limits on it, right?
Right.
So,
yeah, just like Diesel Brothers, when we said, hey, we're going to race the Diesel Brothers. And we go, you need 4 race trucks and 3 bog trucks. And they go, yeah, there's no limits. We're just going to bring
in fantasy world. Yeah, they did that in reality. What we're doing is called Quarantine Fantasy Monday night. It's Quarantine Fantasy Monday night. Now, I will say this. I also talked to Chucky D. I think he's got 2 teams that he wants to put together. He wants to put a team that he thinks is good, and then a team against. He goes, I want to put against a whole team of people that we're going to call a band. I'm like, oh geez, here we go. So it's going to be fun.
Chuck will be submitting those by mail, Mister. You'll have it in 3 weeks.
No, he texts things to me. So when he needs me, he sends me a text.
Dude, he'll write it down and fly up to Georgia in the 2-seater, dude.
All right, just to rehash, Matt, say this once again for everybody, and everybody listen up, okay? Dirty 7 team submissions, your dream teams. All right, Matt, go ahead.
Here's the deal, though. Keep it brief and keep it. We don't need a paragraph saying why you feel this way. Basically, when you submit it, it's Chasing Paper versus this guy. Cash Money versus this guy. Chris Lieback versus this guy. Jimmy versus this guy. That's it. We don't need opinion. We don't need – this really needs to happen. Hopefully you guys can talk to these people and make it happen. We're not worried about any of that. We simply want to see name and name. That's it. Chris?
And maybe name and truck name. And if it's somebody we don't really know, maybe put let's say his name is John Smith. He drives the Penetrator from Dallas, Texas or whatever, just so we know kind of who he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that would be a big Penetrator because it's from Texas and everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah. Everything. If you say Russell Twitty in the Liver Killer, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's world famous. You know what I mean? So, but if it's somebody we might not know, it'd be nice to have a little explanation.
Yep. And that would be very fun. And like I said, I'll build some graphics. We'll display, the best teams. If it depends on how many we get. If we get 500, obviously we're not going to be able to do all 500, but we will definitely.
We're never going to get 500.
Yeah, we won't.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. But you know what I'm saying? I mean,
we could be giving $6,000 worth of stuff away, and we won't get 500.
This is a good point. Okay, but you see what I'm saying? We
might get 20.
All right. We'll see.
but if we postpone an event, we'll get about 700.
Hey, so like I said, I've already got a couple. And Worcester, I don't know if you want me to keep the Dirty 7 guys ones secret.
No, you can send them all to me. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I want to keep them secret.
Okay, that's okay. If you want them to have a fancy graphic, you'll have to send them.
We need to have somebody on too, or all of them, Chris.
I was gonna say, why don't we have whoever the Dirty 7 guys submit their dream team to take them on? Why don't they come on the show and present their own their team. I like that idea.
I love that idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but next Monday night, Jimmy's probably going to – no, he won't be busy. Peter's probably going to be busy. No. Nick's probably going to be – no. Randy Priest – no. Chris Lieback's probably – no, he won't be busy. Spiker – no, he shouldn't be busy. And Wes Jr.'s definitely going to – oh, maybe – no, he probably won't be busy.
Okay. We all on the same page then.
They're all busy, which is the joke. You know, they're all like, hey, dude, yeah, I'm busy, working my ass off all by myself, social distancing.
Yeah. It's pandemic humor.
Brum.
All right, cool. So we've got all that. Everybody, send your teams in if you want to send one in to the. Oh wait. Look, it's the TruckU versus Mudstick truck.
That's not how you said it a couple weeks ago, Lister.
I didn't say TruckU versus Mudstick.
You pronounced it a little more southern.
Did I?
Yeah.
I was on a roll that night.
But I will say I saw Adam's name come up in one of the challenges a little earlier.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Can't tell you who from, but I did see it, and I like it. I'm just surprised again that he's not doing an event right in the middle of this. It's textbook Wimple, dude. I love it, and I would support it. Behind the scenes, I would support it because I couldn't publicly, but I would.
You know what I think it is? I think in New York, unlike Florida, where if you went out and did something in Florida, like a smaller event, they'd be like, hey, cut it out. You got to go home. In New York, they would find you $800,000, you know what I mean? Arrest you, ruin your life, and whatever else. You know, they're a little more stern up there.
Yeah, perhaps.
Aaron Bingham. I mean, these are other great ideas. I mean, Rednecks with Paychecks versus Dirty Seven. You know, stuff like that. I mean, we're going to see all kind of cool stuff. So don't forget, PM them through TGW Facebook Messenger. Send me the teams, the lineups, like you said, and we'll feature them all next week.
Two things. Rednecks with Paychecks truck may be on a future episode, perhaps. So yeah, but you'd have to list multiple trucks with that. And then there was somebody, I think it was Seth Neighbor, was like, yeah, Bruno didn't know who Twitty was. Actually, I know that he said he didn't and all that, but we have actually talked about Twitty before on the show because my buddy from Michigan, I forget his name, but he's got it's K5. It's a company, and we did a couple different things with him, and he knew all about Trucks and Wild. He knew all about Twitty, and he and I and Bruno had a whole conversation about Twitty. So don't think that Bruno didn't know. He just doesn't know everybody's names and the truck names and all that. That's like him telling me about somebody that I've heard the name a million times, and he's got some car called whatever, the Turquoise Monster. Okay, so maybe I don't know who the Turquoise Monster is, right? I know who the Green Monster is, but that's why I said turquoise, because I don't know that guy.
That's like asking people, you know, like normal people who Johnny Sins is. I mean, Matt knows who Johnny Sins is.
Yeah, I do. Johnny's in good shape, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. The boy works out. Wister.
Who?
You know who knows who Johnny Sins is? Little Wister.
What?
Nothing. Little Wister's probably watching a compilation video right now.
Dude, hey, I was talking.
Will you put yes in the comments section and just hit enter? Pablo knows. Guarantee. I guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Pablo's the president of the fan club.
Yes.
So I was talking to Craig today, and he probably told you he had an idea about, you know, doing a little hype video for like when we're going to return, you know what I mean? And I was talking about, and if we ever get a date that when they open up the economy and we can get back to mudding and doing what we do, we're going to do a little call out and have people submit some cell phone videos to us of them getting ready and saying something about how they're getting ready to open things back up and get back to mudding and doing what we love. And we're going to edit that thing and kind of make a hype video to kick this thing off if we ever get to that point. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully that's sooner than later.
But do we need to kind of get that ball rolling in people's ideas, Chris, of what we want? Or when's the appropriate time to do that? Because that falls more on you and Craig than it does me. So
it would be now. I mean, I would love to see that, and you can post them on Facebook and tag them, and we can rip them right off of Facebook. You
tell
know
them
what I mean?
I'm bleeding, so I got to go get something real. I'll be right back. And I'm not menstruating. I'm just bleeding on my arm. Be right back.
Oh my God.
No,
tell them what
we would just love to see video. It doesn't have to be 10, 15, 20 seconds of you either saying something, how you're ready to get back to mudding, or you're getting ready to go back, or you're working on the truck, or you're preparing in the shop. Just anything that we could put something together to kind of be able to kick this thing off whenever we're ready to go. And we can flesh it out a little bit more. We're still talking about what we'd like to do, and we can make it a little more clear. And we can talk about that on upcoming shows, since we're doing live shows almost every night now. So, but I just think it would be a cool thing.
The more humor, the better.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be funny. It can be whatever people want to do. You know what I mean? If they're working on their trucks, or they're saying something, or
I'm thinking like sparks from a welder. I'm thinking somebody's hammering on some shit. Maybe you got
all that stuff.
You're welding over here, and then there's like a girl twerking like right off to the side, and of course she's wearing personal protection gear.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We just need to come up with a hashtag campaign, or a campaign name, or a slogan where people can say, "I'm ready," or whatever. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm ready. Whatever that needs to be. We'll figure something out, and we'll come up with it on Monday, and we'll start it out going on Monday. But I don't know, where are we at in the program here? Are we going on another topic, or Wister, you look like you're about to check out?
No, I'm fine.
I have another one, but it has nothing to do with anything automotive and nothing to do with trucks and wild. It's a question that I have, but I can wait. It's nothing, and it's not even funny. It's a legit question that I have, because I don't know. Sliced
bread, white or wheat? Go. No, that's my water joke. That was my water joke. It's not a real question.
I'm gonna go white. Dude,
I don't really eat bread anymore, but I enjoy the honey wheat, which I think is a hybrid type of bread.
What else is good is white wheat is pretty good. Had that. Same. Honey wheat's really good. White wheat's good.
Now, speaking of bread, a good interactive question would be like, what place has the best rolls? If we're talking like yeast rolls, because you got the ones. Where's the ones with the honey butter? Is that Texas Roadhouse?
That's like, I don't know if that's cinnamon, or there's a couple, because Quincy. Quincy's a big fat yeast roll, dude.
Yeah, Quincy's used to be the legit place.
So you got like Texas Roadhouse, you got Quincy's, you got is it what's the place in Missouri with the throwed roll?
Oh, Lambert's.
Lambert's, right? And then
is that Lambert's? I think with home of the throwed roll.
But isn't it like what's the normal restaurant with the yeast rolls? Not the normal restaurant, but the buffet place.
I thought it was Quincy's with the big fat yeast roll. Golden Corral, I don't know if they're known for their bread.
Forget that.
So, I mean,
now look, Mark Castillo said Red Lobster, which their Cheddar Bay biscuits, is the shit. Those are delicious. Yeah. Now you can buy that mix from Publix or any grocery store and make your own. All you do is add the cheese. Really, really good.
Nice. Now, if you can
Golden Corral. Golden Corral. Golden Corral.
Hey, what Golden Corral? Yeah, really?
No, that's the bread. Yeah, absolutely. It's delicious.
At Golden Corral?
For sure. Yeah. But I like the place that has the cinnamon butter.
Not the disease-infested chocolate fountain where you can get the crabs. So, if you go to Olive Garden and you get extra butter and garlic on the breadsticks, like you have them, it's like, hey, can you just double up the butter on the breadsticks? Dude, that's some money right there, too.
Dude, the Olive Garden, the problem is, the Olive Garden, you get the damn Alfredo sauce with the breadsticks. That's the jam.
Yeah. That's good,
too. What happened to Wister?
Well, he checked out, so hopefully he'll be back in a minute, because I do have another. My question is nothing revolving food. Logan's, dude, yeah. Chad DeRitter does not like Logan's, as evidenced by his comment, but somebody else does.
No, he said he didn't say that. He said like effing Logan's. I think that's a right on.
Okay. I didn't see the IN. Okay, my bad. I caught it real quick. They are for me, Matt. Oh, Golden Corral. Maybe dude. Listen. I wasn't knocking Golden Corral. I love Golden Corral. I think Golden Corral is great. But Popeye's biscuits are good. Popeye's spicy chicken. We've gone down that road before, dude. Mm-hmm. That place we ate at. Yeah.
Now look, I know there's a bunch of chicken places, but if we're talking purely fried chicken, and let's stick with the two big boys. Personally, Matt, who do you prefer, Popeyes or KFC?
Oh, Popeyes.
You're just sticking Popeyes
over KFC. Yeah. Now I like KFC. There's nothing wrong with KFC, but I like Popeyes. I like their the skin a little bit better, and I like because they have a spicy option, and I like their mashed potatoes with Cajun gravy. But you're not asking me about Crispies in Groveland, which I know there's a few.
Well, no, I know we can go Maryland. I know we can go Maryland fried chicken and all the other crap. Yeah. Hey, Colton's in Missouri has good rolls too, by the way.
Yeah. Colton's is good. There's a lot of stuff on the menu.
Not when you eat there 8 nights in a row.
Russell Twitty says Outback has the wonderful bread.
Oh,
yeah, the Outback bread is good too.
But you have to cut it correctly. I will never forget one night we were eating out with the Twitties on our way back from West Georgia Mud Park. And we stopped by the Outback. We loaded all our stuff in there and everything. And Twitty gave Little Worcester an education in how to cut bread. And it has stuck with him ever since. He knows how to cut bread properly still to this day. So thank you, Russell Twitty.
Will you please share?
You have to. I don't know. I may have to show you in person.
But I think you could probably describe it. So is it that you want to touch the piece that you're going to eat and you slice it beyond that, so you're not grabbing the loaf and then cutting your piece off the other end?
No, it's not just that. It's how to cut it and not mash it up. Because, when it comes out from Outback and Longhorn and a lot of those places, it comes out piping hot. So if you grab it and you just kind of go at it, it kind of messes up the loaf. Well, see, Twitty educated us that day on how to properly cut the bread where it doesn't mess up the loaf and you get the right piece. That's right.
You have to probably pierce the crust on the shoulder and then drive the knife in and then down, right? To more of like a saw motion, almost like a lumberjack.
It's a sawing motion. That's right. You can't just push. You got to saw.
Yeah, it's got to be probably a slower sawing motion. You can't just get in there and go crazy because you're going to ruin it like it's your first time.
I don't know. Next time we have Twitty on, we have to remind ourselves to have the great bread debate.
I was going to say, since things are going so fucking great in the mud truck community, next Monday, it's Twitty Cutting Bread Live.
Twitty, you heard it right here. You're going to be a special guest.
We probably have like 600 viewers with Twitty Cutting Bread. Dude, we almost have to just get that booked right now. I mean, we almost just have to get it booked.
We're busy next Monday with Dirty Seven Dream Team. That's going to take the whole thing. But next Wednesday, 1 week from tonight, Twitty, we expect an education on how to cut an olive. Even if you have to go to curbside and get like 5 loaves, just send the invoice
to Worcester.
Well, no, because Worcester will pay $30 additional shipping.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. See, look.
So what was your next?
Killed it.
Twitty said, "Look, we got it. So no problem."
No, I think they meant you killed the loaf.
I did. That's exactly what it was. So, hey, Miss, can you bring me another loaf? I need to show these people how to cut bread.
So every time Mud Tank Dave comes down here, he a lot of times he stays at my house, right? So we'll go out to Longhorn, right? And Mud Tank Dave, the bread comes out, he will slice 2 slices, butter them, and just let them sit there until his dinner comes out. They just sit there.
Wow.
I don't have that much control. I can't.
Is he letting the butter sink in and soak the bread?
It just sits there.
Just sits.
Gallagher says a little plate of grease and leaves is good with the bread. He's right, because those places where you get the bread and they dump the oil in there, and they do that at Bonefish Grill.
Very good at Bonefish, matter of fact, and that is good bread and good seasoning. And they do that also at Carrabba's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Italian thing. It's just olive oil and herbs.
Yes, it's very good. It's very tasty.
Justin Kyle Haley chiming in a lot tonight. Had a very funny one earlier that I couldn't read, but it was pretty funny. And then now he's saying I've had the same amount of drink the entire show. Well, if nothing else, I'm constant. So I'm trying to behave myself, dude. But hey, Justin actually was one of the ones who sent me a nice message today. I'm not going to read it, Justin. Thank you for saying what you did. Just basically, hey, man, we appreciate you guys going on twice a week, and that was cool, man. I think it's as good for us, Wister and Chris, as it is for everybody else. I know it is for me because, doing this is sort of like a creative outlet, and I can kind of spin loose a little bit on conspiracy theories from time to time, or talk about dinosaurs not being real, and nobody really judges me or anything. It's nice because dinosaurs are complete bullshit. Whatever. We'll talk more about that next week.
Hey, Mark Castillo's already given us the lead in on this episode of Trucks Gone Wild, how to slice your bread. See, I can see that going out in blast emails, text messages, and everything.
Should Mark? Oh, wait, who was it? Mark that should have won the carving contest on the cruise? I don't.
Definitely, yes, it was him.
Right? Okay, yes. I thought so. Who got host?
I think one of them some bitches ought to eat one of those hot things live on our show.
Oh, dude, we are just loading up next Wednesday.
Man, now we're talking. Who can we get to do it live on the show? That's right.
Twitty's going to cut bread next Wednesday. So Mark's brothers are going to eat hot shit the following Monday, right? And then we're going to do a live demonstration of toilet paper over or under the following Wednesday. This is awesome. Uh-oh. Guess what I just got via text message? 2 things. I told Bruno, great job. Hope you had a good time and everything. He said, yeah, man, I had fun. He said, I think it went good. I thought Bruno did a great job.
Yes,
and
very much so. Yep.
I got a dream team from Randy Priest just 2 minutes ago, brother. And all I can say is, woohoo. Man.
Nice. All right, guys, any final thoughts?
Yes, I got a whole nother subject.
Another subject?
Yeah, it's a question, bro.
You better come on with it. It's 10:03.
I've been telling you I've had this for 15 minutes, and we've been talking about.
Do we need to spotlight you and just have you on the screen?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a serious question, and it revolves around what's going on in the world today, because I really don't know. All right, my question is, what's up with unemployment? My question being specifically, because we're business owners, we're subcontractors, we're whatever. I don't even mess with it, but because I've heard a lot of people in Florida having troubles with it, but I'm sure it'll get itself worked out. My question is this: is it the same amount? Like if you file for unemployment, does everybody get the same, or is that based on a percentage of your income? So the same person files for unemployment and they make $35,000 a year. Then somebody that makes $75,000 a year files for unemployment. Are they getting the same amount? I don't know anything about it.
I don't know.
Go.
I think in the state of Florida, now I could be wrong, but a buddy of mine lost his job a couple days ago, and I think there is a set amount that is the maximum you get, right? And that's the amount for unemployment. But then the federal money, that $600 or whatever it is, I think you get that on top of your unemployment, and those unemployment benefits go for X amount of weeks because that's what they approved.
Is that weekly? Is that weekly?
I don't know. It might be, but
there's 3 different programs, right?
I'm not asking about the one that a company gets.
Hold on.
Okay.
Somebody said Michael Howard said everyone get the same $275 a week.
So
that's what he just said.
So if you're making $80,000 a year, and you get either your job ends, or is that the same as if you get furloughed? I'm assuming I just learned about furloughing and all that.
Furlough, whatever. If your income is cut.
So you go from $80,000 a year, which, what's that? $1,600 a week?
Hold on just a second. 80,000 divided by 52 is $1,538 a week.
Okay, $1,600 a week to $275. That's a pretty steep jump down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, you're basically you're getting fired. I mean, it's that
better
much.
Than now look,
zero.
I'm getting
Yeah,
nothing,
sure.
right? I'm not bitching. I'm getting nothing. But I'm whatever. I'm like a squirrel. I've been saving up for this, so and it'll turn around. And I can look. I'm doing tractor work and mowing grass. Don't cry for me, Argentina. But
I think what's going to happen with a lot of guys that get furloughed, and some people are just getting outright fired, right? And I think companies are using this as two things. They're trying to keep the doors open, right? But I think they're cutting some weight. I bet you everybody that works for a company that has a bunch of employees, and by a bunch it could be 10, 20, whatever. And I bet you they've noticed there's always been that guy that they wanted to get rid of. And I think companies are using this as an excuse to get rid of those guys that they want to get rid of. You know what I mean? And I think there's going to be a lot of shuffling around, but hopefully some of these people will get called back to go back to work when everything's turned around. And, some people might not. And I think there's going to be a lot of shuffling and a lot of job openings coming up.
So, Wister, that one you just put up. So government here is giving us $2,000 for the next 4 months. And Andrew Hastings, for those of you that don't know, he's up in Canada. And $2,000 in Canada will buy you about 5 cases of beer.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but if you have any vices in Canada, drinking, smoking, anything, it's way more expensive.
Way more expensive.
So, and they make you feel bad about it on the packaging with rotten lungs and messed up teeth on the cigarettes.
Oh yeah, it's hard to beat. Yeah.
Twitty says it's based on your pay in South Carolina, but there is a cap. Yeah. But it's probably still not much.
Okay, so Christy Prim Matthews, I've been told that I'll get $375 plus $600, only for 12 days though, like
12 weeks.
It says days.
Yeah,
I don't think that's right though, because I think the government
because they're not going to pay you for less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think the government extended unemployment benefits out to 13 weeks.
Okay, and Andrew says $2,000 a month for the next 4 months, so $500 a week, right? But in Canada, I would imagine. I mean, everything. I mean, food and you go out to eat, things noticeably more expensive. So,
I think a lot of them, all of them have caps on them. So it's not like somebody that makes $100,000 a year can get $5,000 a month in unemployment benefits. Never going to happen. It's still going to be a real small amount. But maybe somebody that makes minimum wage and gets laid off, they might get $200 a week, and somebody that makes $80,000 might get $300 a week. It's maybe a better idea of. But there are other benefits like the payroll programs for small business and some other things that are going on. So who really knows? I think it's going to take us all a while to figure out this stuff because it's going to take them a while to actually get it in place.
Yeah, and they don't make it, from what I understand, they don't make it easy to file for unemployment. I mean, you can do it on the computer, but the systems were crashing. They were being overloaded. You're getting kicked out of stuff, and then you have to set up to where they can send you job leads and all that stuff, Yeah,
it's a mess.
Justin says, I started my Snapchat premium account. Can you imagine how many Snapchat premium accounts, how many YouTube channels, how much of that stuff, OnlyFans, all that stuff, dude. I mean, there's just going to be people getting naked in front of cameras to try to make a little extra scratch, and I'm probably going to be at the front of that line. That's why I'm working out.
Good boy. You go.
Yeah, listen, if you see the Matt Steele OnlyFans page, you can bet I'm going to be in tip-top shape.
This is all you see right there.
Yeah, but it's a lot less hairy, I tell you that.
It's the best I could do on short notice. I didn't know you were coming over. There's people that are into that. There's a genre for that.
Oh, dude. Oh, there is. There's a genre for everything, which is good. If you.
The best thing going in let's call it private porn, right? So people make private porn instead of they're not porn stars. They set up all these kind of weird pages and these what do you call the Snapchat private, whatever. I don't know crap about Snapchat, but then they do the OnlyFans and all that stuff. The best thing going today is send me like $10 or $20, and I'll rate your
junk. You said something about that the other day.
Yeah, and then they go, please specify if you'd like me to be truthful, nice, or really mean. And there's different pay levels for that. And if you want a video or if you want a text message about it. So, yes, here's $20. Tell me I have a small dick. Thank you.
Some people like to be degraded. Wister.
Yes, they do.
Dude, that's up there with Cameo and all these people. Like I saw Debbie Gibson and The Situation, and probably Screech if he's still with us, right?
Yeah.
Screech? Okay. And like Zach Morris and everybody from Saved by the Bell and everybody who's ever been on any TV show, non-automotive. It's like, how come I don't have a cameo? How come I'm not out there offering to do people's like answering machine messages for $10? I'm going to do one for BC O'Neill. Hey, you've reached BC O'Neill with the Blue Crush. I can't answer your phone right now because I'm out breaking shit. I'll call you back.
Send me $10 and I'll rate the dick.
That's me imitating BC O'Neill, imitating Dennis Anderson. It's like a 3-stage imitation.
Hey, this is a pretty funny comment right here. Pornhub is paying $1,200 per amateur couple videos. Not that I know anything about that. It's just good information.
Yeah. In unrelated news, Triple X just bought the 50 acres next to his house.
Hey, how did he pay for that?
Oh man, small innocent man.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
Jack Cole says 20 is 20. Yes, it is, sir. $1,200 to bang on Cam. Better start convincing my girl. Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, we gotta get by. How's a single guy supposed to get through this?
Yeah. My sex life would be a TikTok video. It's like 7 seconds. I'm the king of TikTok porn.
I wonder if I could find like multiple people that would be interested and then split the money with them. You know, because if I could find multiples and I could get 600 a piece, we might be onto something. I mean,
I wonder how much you get for girls.
For girls, dude, that was kidding. The dudes are probably like $1,400 for that.
Clint Thomas says my premium account is people paying me to keep my clothes on.
He's like dancing with a shirt on, and he's like pulling it up, and they're like, bing, 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 donate. Keep it on. He's like, all right, I'm only gonna be on for 35 more minutes, guys. Yeah, well, bing, bing, keep it on.
It's like that movie Coyote Ugly.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Yes, we're reading comments. It's interactive. There's probably 400 people on right now, Wister.
I think there's 8.
More than that.
Jack Cole's online with us tonight, though, Jack. Glad to have you online with us tonight.
Dude.
Glad you finally quit working. He works from sun up to sundown. Tell you what, hardest working man I know.
Pablo says I've never gotten paid $600 for 15 seconds of my life.
Keep up the manscaping with the neighbor, Matt. Hey, who told you? What?
You were talking about helping your neighbor with landscaping. Never it got changed up.
Oh. Did I mispronounce landscaping again?
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
Man. I'm not starting sex trafficking. That would be awful. Plus, there's a lot of that. A lot of that's hopefully getting taken care of right now with the whole Wister, you ever look into the Q stuff, dude?
Between you and Al Benosaki, I'm pretty educated.
It is fascinating, dude.
Do you and Al have conversations about that?
Oh, hell yeah!
Are you talking about the QAnon crap?
Yeah.
Such bullshit.
Bro,
Oprah just got raided. It's like Tom Hanks is in prison and whatever.
Open your eyes. I'm telling you.
Shit.
Look into it, dude. Look into it.
Oh boy.
It's so funny. You see all these random posts on Facebook and stuff like that, and in the comment section you'll see something, it'll just have a Q.
Yeah.
Yeah. People just putting Qs here and there. It's funny.
They know what's going on, man. Dude, I'm telling you, if half of that's true, I can't wait.
Half. Oh my God. He puts another one up. I'm selling feet pictures for $5. Cash App.
Dude, there's somebody into it. That's the weird part.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. That's right up there with the rating of the emoji of the
yes.
What was that?
What would that be? What would that be, Mr. DeSantis?
Still got us hanging.
But yeah, it's a feet thing. Like, send me money and I'll send you pictures of my feet. That's a total thing. It's crazy. Dudes are weird, man. Now let me ask you this: do you think chicks are just as weird about weird shit like that as dudes are, but they just don't overtly talk about it? I mean, it's got to be, right?
Based on personal experience, I will say yes.
Yeah, but do you think there's some woman paying $20 for some dude? Wait. I got to figure this out. Do you think there's a woman paying some dude on the internet to show the woman his feet?
There could be.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got to be more prevalent the other way around, right?
Oh, I think it's more prevalent the other way around, but there's somebody out there that's into anything.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure of that.
I mean,
but I agree. I think men probably have way more fetishes than women do.
But look at all the perverted shit in the world. Look at every toy that's ever been invented, and it's all by dudes, right?
What?
I mean, there's no woman sitting around going, let me engineer this swing for the doorway.
No, but there's a whole... Bruh, hold that bottle up. Hold that bottle up. There you go. Exhibit A, Your Honor. That's not for us. Well, for most of us.
Hey, like Jack Cole says, hey, $20 is $20.
I'm saying the dildo business is big business. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, the dildo business is huge business because we have no idea what we're doing. But anyway.
Barry Jissa says, by the look on Matt's face, he's had his feet licked.
and who hasn't?
Oh,
Harry,
funny.
Harry, every centimeter from head to toe.
Oh, God.
What was his name?
Yeah.
Perry on the cruise.
All right, I've had enough of y'all. I can leave y'all still with it if y'all want to stay on.
No, I'm good.
No, we're good.
Hey, good time. We discussed the unemployment, which was cool. I had that written on my notes because I really didn't know anything about it, and I couldn't get a straight answer. So I don't know that I still did. I did a video today on the Matt Steele Outdoors Facebook page where I was plugging tonight, and I was asking about how air traveling was going because I know that there are people still out there flying, but I'm wondering how it's going. Tickets, dirt cheap, Chris. Dude, that $500 ticket to Wisconsin, $180. I'm probably going to buy some tomorrow, looking at late June, early July. And then if they're not flying, well, I'll just get my money back, you know? So
yeah,
it's one of those things, man, where, I asked about that and I didn't see anybody chiming in. So I don't know if one, I'm getting throttled. Everybody knows that. But
see, we haven't
flying.
Yeah, we haven't booked any tickets yet just because of the thing that are going on. I mean, we could start booking some of these things, but you never know. I mean, we get credit for it, but I guarantee you, I guarantee you, as soon as they open the economy back up, those tickets are going to go zoop, right back up.
You ought to go ahead. All the travel tickets that you're going to have to fly to, both main trips, everything up north. You ought to go ahead and start booking all that stuff.
Like Southwest, you can trade, right? But you still get the credit for the purchase price, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever. We get a ticket for $10. That's going to be worth $10 when we go to change it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Hold on, let me check the TGW bank account. Oh yeah, it's empty. We could save so much money if we had any money.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but dude, here I have a closing thought, just a very short thought. Things actually seem like they might be getting a little better, especially in Florida. There's some positive news. It looks like the cases are kind of leveling out. You know, they're not 500 additional cases every day on top of the 1,000. It's not going from 1,000 to 1,500 to 2,000 like it was. You know, it seems to be leveling out somewhat. I do think there is, to quote the president, a little light at the end of the tunnel. So I think everything that people were doing is either working or it was complete bullshit from the get-go. Either way, whatever. I think we're doing some good, and hopefully this thing will be over relatively soon.
Every day that goes by, I get more skeptical about everything, and I started out skeptical. And I'll leave it at that for this week. And I'll go into dinosaurs and Q maybe next week.
Fantastic.
There is so much stuff going on, and I've never seen – how do I put this? I'm not even going to say it because it'll start a whirlwind of chaos.
Well, I think what you're saying is what I've seen. Estimates were as high as 20 million people dying.
Not dying.
Then it was down
infected.
Or whatever. Then it was down to 2 million. No, they talked about 2 million people dying. Now it's down.
Give or take 18 million people, Worcester.
And now it's down to 60,000 maybe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one thing I've heard is they didn't expect people to comply. They thought the compliance rate was going to be 50% at best of people complying.
They thought the compliance rate was basically going to be Florida.
Right.
But the rest of the people, listen. Dude, I don't know. It's like, hey, this is bad. Go hide. Okay, tell us what to do next, benevolent government. Just tell us what to do, and we'll bow down and do everything you tell us because you're looking out for the best interest of us. I'm not buying that shit. Sorry. But
you know what else pisses me off is, and a little bit of a rant. If you are look, people die every day. Tens of thousands of people die every day. And I know this is horrible, the way people are dying from this thing. But if you die of whatever cause it is, but you just so happen to have the COVID, it's getting listed as a COVID death. For instance, there was a 3-month-old or something, or 1-month-old baby that got suffocated to death accidentally, who died, but she happened to be positive for the COVID, which it really wouldn't affect her. They put that down as a COVID death, and they're like, a toddler died. It's not supposed to affect it. Look at this. So a lot of these deaths, I think, are from other diseases or other things that are going on, but they're being booked as COVID deaths, you know? And I think that's a lot of the media hype and a lot of the stuff that's being,
I'm well aware people are dying. Like Jay says, people are dying. Absolutely they are. But
for sure,
a lot greater numbers than this have happened before with no public outcry whatsoever. A lot of different causes with no public outcry.
But the thing is, they made it so hard to talk about this without sounding like an insensitive prick. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and a lot of times
they did.
And a lot of times you can't even do simple math and science without sounding like an insensitive prick. You know what I mean? So it's difficult to talk about, because you can talk about, we're here. Let's not even talk about COVID. Let's talk about guns and car accidents. 40,000 people die a year in car accidents, but nobody wants to outlaw cars. Now you get into suicide rates and all the other stuff, but about the same amount of people die what they call with gun violence, and now they want to ban all guns. You know what I mean? So it's like it's death's a death is a death, and it's all tragic. But I don't think it's just the way you compartmentalize everything and the deaths and however you think about them or whatever. But
look, however somebody can spin any kind of statistic to backfeed an agenda, they're going to do it. And they're going to do it on both sides. But the only problem is we've really been hearing from 90% from one side. It hasn't been even-sided. It's like let the other side push their agenda a little bit, and they haven't.
Well, the thing is, everybody's politicizing the crap out of this thing. It's like even the stimulus bill, they were trying to put stuff in there to fund Planned Parenthood and to push these political agendas. It's like, quit all the bullshit, and for once, just once in your life, do something that's good for the American people. Give the money to the American people that need help, and quit trying to push all the other bullshit, and stop trying to remake the government in a tragedy. Don't take advantage of this tragedy. Just do what's right. You know what I mean? And I think.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I think one side is playing this a lot better than the other side right now, without getting too political. And it seems like they're trying to do the right thing,
And again, obviously, no lack of sympathy towards anybody that's gotten sick or passed away. I mean, do we hate that stuff? We deal with enough of that. We don't like that at all. Nobody does. But man, it sure is being spun one way. Then, to make light of it, there was a post that I saw. It said like a parachuteless skydiver dies of COVID-19.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's of course a tad ridiculous, but is it?
No, not when they do the autopsy and they find out he's positive.
And who's got the crap end of the deal right now? And looking at some of the comments, and I agree, it's like, man, the people that are having to deal with this, your frontline people, they get the crap end of the deal. There's no doubt about that. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but they got to deal with all the people freaking out. They got to deal with people coming in with other things who probably aren't on their best behavior, because when people are freaking out, they're not on their best behavior. And you think about that, whether you're a policeman or an EMT or a nurse or a doctor, and you got to deal with people panicking and then put yourself at risk on that. It sucks all the way around. And we're just saying that it sucks in a lot of ways, not just one or two.
Yeah.
But to be Bill Gates and say that everybody worldwide just needs to stop doing everything for, what did he say, 10 weeks or whatever, and not go outside. It's like, bro, you're Bill Gates. You can probably do that. I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah. It's easy to say when you got all the money. Yeah, just hang out. Yeah. You don't, he didn't have to worry about feeding his kids or, paying his mortgage or keeping a roof or the lights on or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And we're not, like I said, this is just a discussion. I'm not saying I'm right or Chris is right or we're wrong. We're just saying, man, it's hard to even discuss it, because they did come up with a catchy little phrase. They had a great marketing department behind it with the hashtag stay home. Just stay home. It sounds so nice, doesn't it? Just stay home. Stay home. And everybody in the freaking world is saying it. And people like me, people like Chris and Wister, I think you're the same to an extent. And a lot of people watching tonight, we're all the same. Don't freaking tell me what to do. I'm not an idiot. I know what's going on. And stay at home. F you. That's the problem.
And look, I've been gone every day, but here's what I'm doing. I'm not interacting with anybody. I'm not hanging out with people. I'm not doing any of that. But I'm not just going to sit in my house and shiver to death. You know what I mean? I'm moving stuff. I'm going over to my new place. I'm doing what I got to do. But I'm not just going to sit in my house. If I want to go outside and walk around, you know what I mean? Bench press 450 pounds in the front yard, then damn it, I'm going to do it.
Damn right.
You know?
I'm with you.
But I'm not going to be irresponsible and go to a party with 20 people and hang out, you know? It's like I don't like people that much anyway, you know what I mean?
Drink the moonshine after everybody, dude, like you do.
Yeah. You know what's going to be so funny is that like at the events and all that stuff, it's going to be, hey, taste this. It's going to be like, not so much.
Everybody's going to have little moonshine cups. And then just like the surgical gloves, they'll just throw them on the ground when they're done.
They need to have the little solo cups that are about this big?
Yeah.
They need to have like a dispenser, right? So it's almost like the cups at the restaurant where you keep pulling them down the shaft. You know what I mean?
You do what?
That looked weird. Yeah, you pull them down the shaft.
But
sometimes you got to use two. You got to use two hands, pull it down because they get stuck in there. But anyway, like a dispenser where it could be like little shot cups. Doop, shot cup, boom, shot cup, boom. There you go. And then the guys will be picking up that shit off the ground at the park for 3 weeks.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, I don't know because those cups are expensive. They cost money, and who knows? We may not have any.
Trucks Gone Wild, personal COVID-19 proof shot glasses. So shot glasses around the neck, like Mardi Gras beads with shot glasses, branded Trucks Gone Wild. That's your own personal shot glass. They pour it in there, you take it, boom, hangs on your neck. No contamination. You're welcome.
I'll get an order tomorrow.
We ain't got no money.
Be the only order I had this week.
Speaking of that, since there's 7,000 people watching the show right now, the Trucks Gone Wild desk masks are on sale on the store. I think I put them up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send out a blast email and everything about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we just got to order a dust mask. So I know you're supposed to wear a mask. I mean, it's not going to prevent any disease, but it might protect you a little bit. So of dust and whatever else it is.
You look good.
Are we putting thousands of dollars in every order? No,
yes.
Wait, no, that's other guys. That's other guys that do that.
You do earn points toward a free koozie, though. Sorry, I'm not as funny as you guys tonight.
Worcester, you're always funny. You're always funny.
Don't even say it.
Your fact you could be bit of the year though. That's pretty good.
Hey, I do have a funny movie for everybody to watch.
All right.
It is, and I know I said first because
obviously that's what it'll be.
It's Kareem and crap, what was the other name? I'll only look at that right quick.
I've got while he looks it up. Matt, did you watch Trump's press briefing?
Coffee
today?
Yeah.
No.
Did you see the guy ask him about pardoning Joe Exotic?
I saw that somebody did. I saw reactions to that, but I didn't see it happening.
So awesome. So awesome.
It in the wake of everything else going on. You know?
It's funny.
Ugh, man.
Kareem and coffee. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I saw, yeah.
If you want to laugh, it's funny.
I've been watching The Dark Side of Wrestling, which was put together by Vice, and they talk about different wrestlers and they give a lot of insight into their past and all this, that, the other. There was one on Chris Benoit, and he was the guy that murdered his wife and kid. He was a huge WWE star at the time. You know, so there's a 2-part series on that. There's one on Macho Man Randy Savage I watched the other night. But there's one, if any of you go back to the old ECW days or anything, there was a team called the Gangstas. And one of the guys was named New Jack. And that was their whole bit, was they were gangsters. It was New Jack and Mustafa. And I used to watch them back in the day. It's the best wrestling documentary I've ever seen in my life. New Jack is absolutely insane, and he's still alive, and he gives like modern day opinions on stuff that was happening 20 years ago. So the Dark Side of Wrestling, New Jack would be my recommendation for the night.
Is it on what channel?
That's on. You can find that on the YouTubes.
Oh, it's a free.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
So, and that's all I got, man. So look, we discussed Wister's praying as he does. We discussed a lot of things tonight. And honestly, look, let me just say this too. When Chris and I and Wister, we talk about everything that's going on, and we talk about, in our opinion, things are overreacting. Again, we don't want to come off insensitive to anybody that's dealing with loss. We get it. We understand it. We're just giving you our opinion. We're not saying we're right. We're maybe looking at it from a different perspective than somebody is who's dealing with the loss of a loved one. And I hope that nobody has to, but inevitably, there's probably going to be some of that. But my opinion won't change. I can tell you that, only because it's like if my 95-year-old grandfather goes in or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, whatever. He died of the COVID. I'm like, hey, he was 95. And I'm not being insensitive, but it was probably all the drinking and smoking that probably led to that too for 50 years.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, he had heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. He was perfectly healthy when he got the COVID.
Yeah. So
COPD, the whole deal.
Chad DeRitter says, I heard someone today that said way more than Wister Ritchie. The only human being on the planet that does that is DeSantis.
Barack Obama.
Oh, you're right. But I had quit listening to him.
Hey, at least we only have Biden to worry about now. Bernie's gone. So.
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say, you know who died today? Bernie's campaign died today. It got the COVID bad.
What's up with that, dude? So what are the Bernie brothers, the Bernie bros, going to do now? They're not going to swing over to Biden, right? They're probably just not going to vote. Like all the Bernie Sanders supporters are probably just not going to vote.
Bernie ought to run straight independent. I think that'll work out well.
He should. And
who should he pick? Fantastic.
Who should he pick for his running mate? Elizabeth Warren?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Dude, could you imagine? They would probably Arkansas that dude if he ran if he ran independent, because he would split the vote on that side. You know what I mean?
All of a sudden. So Bernie Sanders comes out next Monday and says, I'm going to run independent. Tuesday morning, he dies of the COVID.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. He hung himself.
With a COVID.
Right. That's funny.
We live in some interesting times, dude. We really are. And I had that conversation with my son, Colton, who I talk about probably every show. He's 16. Wister, how old's Wister? 17, 18?
Turns 18 tomorrow.
Happy birthday early to Wister. And I don't know if you've had the same talk with him. You're like, dude, I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah,
And they're not as dialed into it as maybe we are, but they could be here pretty soon. Who knows? And it's really interesting.
Yep.
So I don't know.
All
hey,
right,
Seth Neighbor says, awesome show, guys. Seth, thank you, man. Thank you. Seth is here every week.
We have fun.
Andrew Ritter's here every week. Andrew Hastings here every week. Russell Hoskins every week.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate it.
Here every week. Yeah, dude, we really do, and we try to interact with as many comments as we can. So, and it's a lot of fun. It is cool. So, yes, Chris.
What are you making Little Wister for his birthday dinner? Y'all gonna have a birthday dinner?
Low
I imagine.
Country Bowl.
Oh,
really?
He requested a Low Country Bowl.
That sounds good.
So are you doing shrimp, sausage, corn, potatoes, onions,
celery?
Any?
Nope.
No.
Not enough. No, that's no.
Old Bay seasoning?
That's
damn strike 2 from Matt Steele, bro.
That's like Johnny White guy Low Country Ball. You know what I mean?
That's bad.
So Are you doing any kind of crabs or anything, or is it just shrimp and sausage? And
we don't like crawfish. So yeah, just shrimp, just like you said.
Does your husband like crawfish?
I don't know, Matt. Does he?
Let me text Bruno.
Yeah. It was great having Bruno on tonight. He was a lot of fun. He's a good talker. It was fun to watch you and him going back and forth.
Bruno's fun, man. It's easy to work with him. I can tell you that. Cool. So,
All right, guys. Well, next Monday night, have your dream teams up. Send them to Trucks Gone Wild Facebook page through the messenger. Send all those.
I love the idea that Chris came up with about having the guys on individually to go over their teams, because then they can give their little perspective and why. And I think that would be awesome. And even if we can't get all 7 of them on, if we can get, I'm sure we probably can.
I'll check all of them.
But, we'll keep them on for like 2 minutes. We'll boom in out.
Yeah,
it's like 2 minutes tops. That's all I can go for.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe.
Yep. Take care. We'll see you Monday night.
Word.
See you lead. See you steel. Peace.